Hey trainers, Alakaham here with some more Pokemon video magic, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing 5 teams that I have used to play in the Summer Cup that I thought were a lot of fun. I came up with 4 of these on my own, and then there was a team that I just tried out after watching a video from another trainer, so I'll mark that as being from someone else when it comes up. But this video is just about these 5 teams that I used and found some success with, and this was just one battle set where I used each team for one battle. So you're seeing the whole recorded live battle set here, and I'll just talk you through what I was doing with my teams and what I liked about them, and you'll see that these worked out pretty well for me here. This first team is built around Toxtricity. There's not a lot of opportunities to use Toxtricity, but Toxtricity does have a lot of play in this particular meta. Electric type attacks do really well against a lot of players, and so I used PvPoke to design a team around Toxtricity on the lead. This next team is one that was super expensive, so just know that up front, I guess, but it's also one that I borrowed from another trainer, so I did not come up with this. It's not an original, but it is a team that was pretty successful and pretty fun. So I spent 150,000 Stardust building this Shadow Fortress late last night at like midnight or something. It was, you know, when you're sleepy and you're not thinking real hard about the future of your Stardust and you just want what you want. So that's how I used the Stardust to make that Shadow Fortress. But it is a absolute beast. You could see the damage it was doing. It took out a Pokemon and a half on its own. And then Kecleon has been pretty cool. It's a Pokemon that got an upgraded moveset this season, and even though it's not quite as high as some other Pokemon for the Summer Cup meta, it does have a lot of play because of Thunder Punch, and because that fast move is just nuts. So I was counting on being able to farm down with my Furret and using Sucker Punch as a fast move there, and hypothetically using Trailblaze to strengthen it as we go. So I was able to take game number 2, and that's 2 games in a row where my opponent decided to go ahead and do the top left. Okay, so in this game, I am using a team where I built the team around Shadow Fortress because I wanted more opportunities to use it. You know, if you spend 150k Stardust on something, that's you want to get your mileage out of it, right? So I got a bad lead, and or a positive lead, and then my opponent swapped into this Shadow Ninetales, and I maybe should have responded with Licky Licky. Licky Licky is a little more bulky, and that might have gone better. In my head, I was thinking we've got a water type with Jellicent, but I wasn't considering the fact that Shadow Ninetales, of course, now has access to Energy Ball, which makes it really, really good in this meta, and of course a lot better in general. But given that Forretress is just so ridiculous and oppressive in this particular meta, having anything that hits back against that and that can defend itself against its biggest counters is really valuable. So as you saw there, I was able to take Switch, but I had to give up Shield in order to do it, even though my Pokemon had the better typing in the matchup. So that was wild. Anyway, I was using Licky Licky basically as a damage sponge there and chipping whatever damage I could, but I figured I could close with Shadow Fortress. I did forget about how much health was on this Kingdra, and fortunately we were able to use a stone tomb, rock tomb, whatever kind of, it's everything it runs is a tomb of some kind, so whatever the rocky one is, and decrease the attack, and that was able to spare us long enough to be able to get to that final Morpeko there and close the game out. And I'm running a little behind, so we're gonna just jump ahead to this game here. This is game number 4, and I wanted to do something built around Kingdra because Kingdra's one that has been updated recently and that I haven't actually used a lot, so I wanted to do something that I thought would be fun there. This is a pretty decent matchup because with shields we can win this against the Greninja. Just firing off Swifts here with the Kingdra. So we're doing lots of neutral damage, and we are able to farm down there. They bring in a Venusaur. I'm feeling pretty good about this right now because both of my Pokemon in the back do okay against Venusaur, so I figured I would just let it kind of take out the Kingdra and then go from there. Looking back on this, what I really should have done is think about whether I would need the Kingdra in the back, because it turns out I do. They have a Talonflame, which is not great for anything in my back line. So Crustle here, which I think is a really fun pick for the Summer Cup, is taking neutral damage from the fire type moves, and I needed to be able to fake them out to get their shield to try and get to our rock type move, but we're not able to do it. They just got to their third Incinerate, which means they have their move now, and I am at back-to-back Blaze Kicks. So I don't actually know if I won CMP or if they didn't tap or what happened there, but fortunately, we've got the Fire Chicken, and it is coming through. Nothing like Shadow Spicy Chicken to close the game out for us. So having a Fire type is really useful against things like Forretress, but in this case, it ended up just being kind of useful in general, so that was nice. And we finally come up against a favorable lead for us here with Oranguru versus Girafarig. We've got these two Pokemon whose names are so on the nose here. Given that we have access to Brutal Swing, a dark type move, we're able to do super effective damage here. I really wanted to find a way to use Oranguru because it is pretty well rated for the Summer Cup, but also because I like Oranguru as a Pokemon in general, and it's fun to use. My opponent brings in a Seismitoad, and I wish I could have got to that Trailblaze, but I knew they were going to take me out, so I just had to go for whatever move I had ready. We were able to chip some damage, so that's good, but we're in a pretty good position because they're a Mudboy, and we have Jumpluff coming in here with Grass-type moves that are going to do big, super effective damage. And we are able to maintain shield advantage here, because I knew that Jumpluff was bulky and it could take at least one Icy Wind there. So we're going to shield up everything against their Skeledirge and just go for Brutal Swings. Actually, I wanted one shield to protect against Icy Wind, so I'm pretty sure we can tank one Shadow Ball because Turtonator is pretty beefy. So we do get to the Brutal Swing, but my opponent top left's there. So these teams were really fun. They actually made a lot of opponents quit, and I enjoyed using them. They were very successful. So I would love to hear comments from you if you have feedback about the teams. I would love to get a like if you enjoyed the video, and I will have more content ready for you all soon. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, trainers.